When you're an older man, there's a moment you'll notice. Maybe it happened to you already. A younger woman looks at you just a little too long. Not the quick glance she gives every guy passing by, but the kind of look that lingers for a second, like she's trying to read something in you, and in that split second, you feel it. Not ego, not fantasy, just presence. A quiet awareness that you're being evaluated in a way younger men don't fully understand. Most guys get confused in that moment. They either downplay it or assume it's nothing. But younger women don't look at older men the same way they look at men their own age. There's a different psychology at play, something deeper, more instinctive, something she'll never say out loud. And if you don't know what you're seeing, you'll miss the signs completely. Younger women pick up on a man's energy before they pick up on his looks. That's the part nobody teaches you. They're not scanning your face for the absence of wrinkles. They're scanning your presence for the absence of insecurity. They're searching for calmness, steadiness. That quiet masculine gravity younger men rarely have. And when you carry that kind of energy, she feels it. She feels safer. She feels more curious. She feels drawn, even if she doesn't fully understand why. But here's the twist most men never realize. A younger woman doesn't usually make the first move with an older man. Instead, she tests, and those tests are subtle. She'll look at you in a way that's half curious, half respectful, almost as if she's trying to see if you notice her without acting like every other guy who gets reactive around pretty women. If you look back calmly, if you hold your frame, you'll see her breath shift. Her expression softens, her eyes warm. That's the first hidden signal, the "I feel something here" moment that she tries to keep controlled. There's also a kind of micro-shyness you'll see, not the girlish, giggly shyness people expect, but a quiet hesitation. She becomes slightly more self-aware, touching her hair, adjusting something on her outfit, or pretending to look at her phone just to manage her nerves. This is attraction wrapped in restraint. She doesn't want to appear too obvious, especially with a man who she assumes has options and experience. What really surprises men is how quickly a younger woman can pick up on your emotional maturity. She notices how you move, how you speak, how you treat the environment around you. She notices when you're not chasing approval, when you're not performing, when you're simply existing in your own masculine center. That's what makes her look at you differently. Because in her world, filled with competitive young guys trying to impress her, your calm becomes rare. It becomes magnetic. And maybe you've noticed something too. The way she listens when you talk. Younger women don't listen to their male peers like that. But with you, there's a certain stillness, a certain attention. Almost like she wants to understand you, not judge you. When she feels that pull, she starts imagining what it would feel like to be close to a man who doesn't need her validation, yet still makes her feel feminine without even trying. This is where the psychology gets interesting, because this dynamic isn't about age, it's about polarity. It's about what she feels when she's around you. And most men overlook the moments where that polarity becomes undeniable. What a lot of men don't realize is that when a younger woman is drawn to an older man, she experiences a mix of emotions she doesn't show publicly. On the surface, she acts normal, polite, composed, but underneath, she's feeling things she may not even fully understand yet. There's comfort mixed with curiosity, respect mixed with a quiet spark of desire, and it all begins with how you make her feel, not through effort, but through presence. You have to understand something deeply. Younger women aren't attracted to older men because of the age difference. They're attracted because of the emotional difference. You carry an energy she's not used to. You're not frantic. You're not uncertain about who you are. You're not trying to impress her with noise or showmanship. You're the opposite, quiet but confident, relaxed but focused, and that contrast hits her harder than you think. She notices things subconsciously. The way you speak without rushing your words. The way you look at her with calm eyes instead of hungry ones. The way you take responsibility for the moment instead of waiting for her to lead it. Those little things create a feeling she can't get from men her own age. That's why she treats you differently. More careful, more attentive, more respectful. You might have seen it before. She lowers her voice slightly when she talks to you. She becomes softer, more feminine around you without even trying. She asks your opinion on things, not because she needs your advice, but because she values how you think. She may even tease you lightly, not to challenge your ego, but to feel closer to you. To feel that exciting yet safe tension that only grows around a man who's grounded. But here's the hidden layer. She also fears misreading you. She assumes you've lived long enough to see through games, and she doesn't want to embarrass herself by being too obvious. So instead of bold moves, she sends subtle invitations. She'll stand a little closer than necessary. She'll touch your arm casually, then pretend it wasn't intentional. She'll ask questions that let her stay in your presence just a little longer. And the reason she does this is simple. Younger women don't want to be judged for liking older men. Society will talk, her friends will question her, and she knows that. So she keeps her signals controlled, hidden, gentle. She deepens the connection without exposing her vulnerability. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss the emotional tension she's trying to create. Because for her, it's not just attraction, it's admiration. It's the feeling of being seen by someone who understands her better than she expected. It's the comfort of knowing she can relax her guard. It's the spark that comes from your stability meeting her youthful energy. And once that dynamic takes hold, she starts treating you in ways that reveal the truth she won't say out loud. And those treatments, those little behaviors, are the real indicators of whether she's secretly drawn to you. There's a moment when you'll notice the shift. It's quiet, almost invisible if you're not tuned into it. But once you catch it, you'll never forget it. It's when a younger woman stops seeing you as just an older guy and starts seeing you as a man she feels something toward. Her behavior doesn't get louder, it gets softer. Her presence around you becomes more intentional. And the way she treats you reveals more than any words ever could. You'll see it in how she pays attention. Younger women don't give deep attention to men lightly, but with you, she listens differently. She responds differently. She remembers small details you told her weeks ago, the name of your favorite spot, the story you shared about your past, the goal you said you were working on. She holds on to those things because they make her feel more connected to you. That's not casual. That's investment. And then there's the way she positions herself around you. She might sit closer, just close enough for the space between you to feel charged. She might lean in when you speak, even when the environment is quiet enough for her to hear you perfectly. She might brush past you when she doesn't need to, letting her shoulder barely touch yours. Like she's testing how it feels to be near you without crossing any obvious line. What's even more revealing is the way she acts when other people are around. A younger woman who's secretly drawn to you becomes slightly more protective of her connection with you. She won't show ownership, but she'll show presence. She'll stay close enough to remain part of your atmosphere. She'll watch how other women interact with you, and her expression shifts ever so slightly. Not jealous, not aggressive, just aware. Aware in a way that only someone who cares even a little would be. But here's something men often overlook. Younger women are extremely sensitive to how you carry your masculinity, and when she feels attracted, she becomes more feminine without realizing it. Her tone softens. She smiles more when you talk. She delays leaving the conversation even when she has other things to do. It's that subtle, I want to stay in this moment energy that gives her feelings away. And when she starts trusting you, really trusting you, she'll open up emotionally in ways she wouldn't with a younger guy. She'll tell you about her fears, her dreams, the things that overwhelm her, not because she needs rescuing, but because you make her feel understood. That emotional safety is rare for her. She's not used to a man who listens without trying to dominate the conversation, who guides without controlling, who understands without judging. It's in those moments she starts treating you differently, more carefully, more thoughtfully, more sincerely. Because now you're not just the older man she notices. You're the man she feels drawn to, the man who makes her heart slow down and speed up at the same time. The man she doesn't want to lose her composure around. But this is where things get even deeper. Because attraction is only the beginning. The real psychology shows up in how she behaves when she feels emotionally connected and stirred by the contrast between your world and hers. What truly separates a younger woman's attraction to an older man from every other experience she's had is what happens when the emotional connection begins to settle into her. She starts to feel something she can't easily control, respect mixed with desire, curiosity mixed with comfort. And that blend creates behaviors you won't see with younger guys, because the way she sees you is different. She starts valuing your presence more than your appearance. She notices how grounded you are when life gets chaotic. She notices how you don't get easily triggered, how you don't compete with other men, how you don't chase validation. That emotional stability becomes magnetic. It creates a feeling inside her that says, I can breathe around him. And when a woman feels that, everything about her behavior changes. She becomes more gentle around you, not weak, gentle. Her movements soften, her defenses lower, her voice becomes warm. She begins to speak to you with a kind of trust she hasn't earned from anyone else yet. She might talk about situations from her past with more vulnerability than she planned. She might admit things she hides from her friends. She might open up about her fears, not to gain sympathy, but because she feels safe to be human around you. And while she's doing that, she's watching you. She's watching how you respond. She's watching whether you stay calm when she reveals the unpolished parts of herself. She's watching if you listen without trying to fix everything. Because younger women associate older men with clarity, wisdom, and steadiness. If you show those traits, the emotional bond deepens without you even trying. Another sign is how she starts mirroring your behavior. If you become calm, she becomes calm. If you speak slowly, she slows down too. If you share something personal, she reciprocates. Mirroring is one of the strongest subconscious attraction cues in psychology, especially when she doesn't even realize she's doing it. But here's something most older men never notice. When she starts caring how you view her, everything about her changes. She becomes more thoughtful with her words. She pays attention to how she presents herself. Not in a performative way, but in a, I want him to see the best of me way. She dresses a little better when she knows she might see you. She tries to show you she's more than just her age. More responsible, more mature, more aware than people assume. And yet, beneath all that, there's a quiet tension growing in her. Because the more she's drawn to you, the more she fears the unknown. She worries you might not feel the same. She worries she might be reading the signals wrong. She worries you might think she's too young, too inexperienced, or too emotional. This creates a push-pull dynamic inside her, attraction fighting uncertainty. That internal conflict leads to the behavior that's the clearest sign of all. The sign that she's not just intrigued by you, but genuinely affected by you. The clearest sign a younger woman is genuinely affected by you isn't loud. It isn't flirtatious. It isn't something she posts on social media or talks about with her friends. It shows up in the moments where her guard slips, when she forgets to play it cool, when she reacts, not as a young woman trying to impress an older man, but as someone whose emotions are being pulled toward you in ways she can't hide anymore. You'll notice it when she gets a little nervous around you. Not the chaotic, dramatic kind of nervousness, but a soft, almost innocent hesitation. She might stumble over her words or laugh at things she wouldn't normally laugh at. She might avoid your eyes for just a moment because looking at you makes her feel exposed. It's not insecurity, it's vulnerability. It's the realization that she cares what you think, and that feeling alone shifts her behavior. What's even more telling is how she becomes more intentional with her presence. She doesn't just show up around you by accident anymore. She finds reasons to be near you, to talk to you, to involve you in her world. She'll ask for your opinion on something small, her plans, her decisions, even her frustrations, because she wants to hear how you see things. She wants your perspective, not because she can't make choices on her own, but because she values the wisdom and clarity she senses in you. And when she's truly drawn to you, she starts to slow down around you. Time feels different to her when you're present. She's not rushing, not checking her phone, not distracted. Her attention becomes anchored. Her body relaxes. Her eyes soften. That's emotional intimacy, something deeper than attraction, something she rarely experiences with younger men who are still trying to figure themselves out. But here's where psychology reveals the truth most clearly. When a younger woman feels something real for an older man, she becomes more real herself. The facade drops, the performance fades. She lets you see the woman she doesn't show to the world, the thoughtful side, the unsure side, the ambitious side, the emotional side. She's not trying to impress you anymore. She's trying to connect with you, and in that connection, she begins testing something quietly. She wants to know if you see her as more than her age. She wants to know if you see depth in her, not just beauty. She wants to know if you recognize the emotional maturity she's trying to show you. Because the deepest fear younger women have when they develop feelings for an older man is simple. What if he doesn't take me seriously? So she watches how you respond. She watches if you treat her with respect. She watches if you listen to her when she speaks. She watches if you see the woman inside her, not just the number attached to her. And when she feels that you do, when she feels valued, seen, and understood, that's when her attraction shifts from curiosity to desire to something much more powerful. But the real depth of this dynamic comes next, when her behavior starts revealing the emotional power you hold without even trying, and how that power shapes everything she feels around you. There comes a point where the connection between you and a younger woman steps into a different territory, a deeper, more undeniable space. It's no longer about curiosity. It's no longer about admiration. It becomes emotional gravity, something she feels every time she's near you, even if she tries to hide it. And the most fascinating part? You don't have to do anything extraordinary to create that effect. It's your maturity, your steadiness, your quiet strength, the way you live in your skin without needing validation. That's what pulls her in. But here's what most older men never realize. Once she's emotionally drawn to you, she begins to treat you with a level of sincerity, younger men almost never receive. She becomes more careful with your time, more mindful of her words, more thoughtful about how she shows up. She doesn't want to disappoint you. She doesn't want to lose the connection. She doesn't want to break the rhythm that's forming between you. You'll feel it in her small acts, the way she texts you with intention, not randomness, the way she prioritizes conversations with you, the way she tries to show you she's dependable, feminine, and emotionally tuned in. She wants to meet you where you are, not in age, but in depth. And yet, with all that, she still wrestles with a quiet fear, not of you, but of herself. Because being drawn to a man who carries more life experience forces her to confront her own insecurities. Am I enough? Will he take me seriously? Does he see my value? These questions echo inside her even as she moves closer to you. What she doesn't always understand is that your interest isn't rooted in her age. It's rooted in her energy, her curiosity, her softness, her feminine openness. Those qualities resonate with your maturity in a way that feels both grounding and exciting. And that's why the dynamic between older men and younger women is so powerful. It's two different worlds meeting in the middle, each giving the other something rare. She gives you youthfulness of spirit, warmth, curiosity, a refreshing feminine lightness. You give her stability, emotional clarity, protection, and a masculine presence that makes her feel safe enough to be vulnerable. That's why she treats you differently. That's why she responds to you differently. That's why her signals are subtle but real, soft but sincere, quiet but unmistakable. In the end, it's never about the age gap. It's about the energy gap. What she feels with you that she doesn't feel with men her own age. And when you understand that, you stop doubting yourself and you start recognizing the truth. Younger women aren't just attracted to older men. They're drawn to the man who has grown into himself, the man who carries experience without arrogance, the man who makes them feel something they can't find anywhere else. And that is the psychology, the power, and the hidden attraction behind how younger women really treat older men.